I would like to take the opportunity to thank you for sharing your evening with me. Tonight's LAPFCU presentation is entitled Auto Buying. My name is Myra Kasuk, and I am your host and one of the presenters tonight. The duration of this webinar is scheduled to go for 1 hour and is being recorded. This is an interactive presentation that at times requires participation in the form of you raising your hand when I ask a question. For those of you attending a webinar for the very first time, please allow me to draw your attention to the GoToWebinar toolbar that was launched when you joined the presentation. If you locate your name in the toolbar, you will notice a series of icons, one resembling a hand. Please click on the hand icon. This is how you will raise your hand when I present a question. So if everybody can go ahead and just click on the hand icon. Perfect. Simply click on the icon again to lower your hand, or if you forget for any reason, I can go ahead and lower the hands for you. In the essence of time, all questions will be addressed at the end of tonight's webinar, as many of your concerns might be addressed within the presentation itself. Because all of your questions are important to us, feel free to jot down your questions during the presentation so that you do not forget to ask it at the end in the event it was not already addressed. Tonight we will discuss setting the budget before you shop, dealerships and negotiation techniques, finance and insurance best practices, as well as alternative car buying options. Although the information you are about to receive is great for those of you ready to get into your first vehicle or maybe a newer vehicle of your dreams, it is also valuable for those simply looking to gain some education on the process. Your first presenter for the evening is Tim Ketchapaw. He is a junior account executive with Autoland with a ton of experience, but please do not take it from me. Tim, the mic is yours.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Again, my name is Tim. I've been with Autoland for almost 5 years now. Previous to that, I was with Honda. I was with Honda for many years, worked in the service department and sales department. I was with them for 16 years. So I'm very familiar with how dealerships work, some tips and tricks I can help you with, that kind of thing. So moving on, setting the budget, what we're going to talk about. One of the main things is what you can realistically afford. And surprisingly, a lot of people don't set their budget before they go to the dealership to look at cars. You figure, oh, I'm just going to look. They're not prepared to buy. But when you get to the dealer, they're going to sell you a car. So you really need to take a look and find out what you can afford. Do your budget. Find out, can I afford an extra $500 a month, or is it $300 a month? And plan for unexpected things. A very important part is, you're going to have maintenance on the vehicle. You're going to have maybe a little higher insurance if you're getting a newer vehicle, or maybe a premium vehicle that you didn't have before. So you're going to want to check into that and make sure that, your insurance isn't going up too much. And then another very important thing is to know your FICO score. Very, very important. A great way to do it is to get pre-approved with your credit union. But a lot of people will see them go into the dealership and they don't know their FICO score. And if you don't know it, the dealer's not going to help you with that. They're just going to tell you, yeah, you have okay credit, and they're going to run your interest rate up. So you want to make sure you know what your score is. And, if you're 720 and above, please know your Tier 1 credit, and you should get the best rate. Next, some online resources. Great ways to know what you're talking about before you go in. You can go to the manufacturer website, take a look at different models, options, features, that kind of thing. If you're looking for pre-owned, KBB is a great place. Edmunds.com is a good place. You can also get new car pricing there. Auto Trader has pre-owned values. The dealer websites, you can always view, see what they have in stock on their lot. Carfax is another where you can go. The problem a lot of people have when you go into a manufacturer website or a dealer website is, they want your information before they will give you any information. So they're going to want to know your email address, where you live, phone number, that kind of thing. And then, of course, you're going to get bombarded and hassled by the dealers because they want your business. Another great way is Autoland. You can go to your lapfcu.org, go to Autoland from there, which later on we'll show you how to do that. And in Autoland, you can check any new car you want, all the features, options. The pricing is going to be the retail pricing, so obviously we'll probably get you a better price than that, but it'll at least give you a ballpark of where you're going to be. It's fun. You go on there if you're looking, say, example, an F-150. Ford F-150, there's probably 30, 40 different ways you can build it. So it's kind of fun to go on, check it out, and see what options there are, see what colors there are, and get an idea of what you're looking for. We also have our pre-owned inventory on our website. I think right now we're sitting at about 1,100 cars, pre-owned vehicles. We do have access to more, so if you don't find what you're looking for, no problem. You just talk to your Autoland consultant, and they will take a look and see what else we can find. But having 1,100 cars right there at your disposal is a pretty powerful thing to have. And then new car models. Like I talked about a little earlier, you can go on, search for new cars and take a look and see what's out there, see the newest thing, the funnest thing, that kind of thing on our website, and it's pretty fun. I enjoy it. So next up, the new, used, and leased. We get a lot of questions with, what's best for me. So, take a look here and kind of look at the different categories and see where you fit in. It's a new vehicle. You're able to get the vehicle you want. You'll be able to get the color you want, what the options you want. And if we can't find it, we can always order it for you. You're, of course, because it's new, you're going to have the latest style. You're going to have the latest technology, the newest safety features. Because it's brand new, you're also going to have the perfect condition. It's not going to have any scratches, dings, dents. Tires are going to be brand new. It's going to have that wonderful new car smell that everybody loves. But one of the things, when you buy a brand new car, you're definitely going to have a higher monthly payment because it's brand new. And your value does depreciate. When you drive it off the lot, you are going to lose a little bit of value there. On pre-owned, the great thing about pre-owned is they are a little less expensive. You're going to get a little more of a car, and that's what they mean by extra options affordable. You're going to get a little bit more of a car for a little less money because you're going to avoid the depreciation, which is really nice. But it is going to have more wear and tear. So you're going to have maybe some scratches here and there, maybe a ding here and there. You're definitely not going to have the new car smell. But, it'll still be in good shape if we get it for you. And then not knowing the history of a car. You buy a pre-owned car, and of course, if you buy it with Autoland, we're going to run the Carfax and get as much history as we can, but you really don't know a lot of the history on the vehicle. And if there's any maintenance costs, when you buy pre-owned, who knows how many miles are on it, but, it's probably going to be due for a service soon, and you're going to have to take care of that. So there's a little extra cost there. And then leasing options. When you talk to your consultant, we'll go over all those with you. If you decide to lease, we still can help you. Good thing about leasing is you have a low payment for a better car, and it's brand new. The problem with leasing, it is short term. You do not own the vehicle, and you have a lease contract with limited miles. So when you return the vehicle, it has to be in just as good a shape as you got it. So, they're going to ding you for tires, dings, dents, smells, stains, that kind of thing. So, you're a little more limited when you lease a vehicle. So next up, going to the dealership. So when you get to the dealership, there's going to be, they call them the salesman, but they're really not salesmen. They're more the greeter. I guess they could be salesmen. They're going to try to sell you on the idea of the vehicle. And the greeter is the one that's going to take you on the test drive, open the sunroof if it's a nice day, put on your radio station that you love, and you're going to see them right off the bat. And they're going to talk to you for quite a while. Their job is to keep you there and make sure, excuse me one second, and make sure that, you love the car and you fall in love with the car and you picture yourself in the vehicle. Then after the greeter gets you in, you talk some numbers. Most greeters won't talk numbers at all to you, but if you're lucky enough and get one to talk numbers, next up you're going to see the closer. Now the closer, his job is to talk a little bit of numbers. And this is where you're going to start talking about payments, what you can afford. He's going to ask you if you have a trade or anything like that. So that is where you're going to want to be a little careful. He's also going to keep you there a little longer because his job is to get you where you're ready to buy. You're talk the numbers, you like his numbers, you're ready to buy. Now at that point, you're going to go ahead and see the finance and insurance. Now at this point, finance and insurance, F&I they called it, the dealership. You know, I give you a quick example. One of the dealerships I worked at, we had an F&I manager, and he would not see anybody that came into the dealership, and until they had been there for a minimum of 4 hours. Can you imagine? That's ridiculous. But the point of him doing that was he wanted to make sure that, one, you were ready to leave. You wanted to sign and get out of there. So you weren't really paying that close attention to paperwork anymore, as long as the numbers were somewhat close. And, you know, you were a little irritated, you were a little agitated, and you wanted to go. You know, you've already been there for a few hours now. You've already pictured yourself in the car. You've already pictured yourself telling your neighbors about your car, your coworkers seeing your new car, you driving, you know, in a beautiful day in your car. You've already pictured all that. So that's where finance and insurance, that's where you really need to start paying attention, where most people stop paying attention. You're going to want to take a look at your paperwork. Make sure all your numbers are still the same. Don't negotiate payment. Negotiate the final price. This is where they're going to talk to you about extra stuff, extended warranties, gap insurance, all the stuff that they're really going to make their money on, because F&I is really where they make the majority of their money. The average dealership in Southern California makes $3,500 on what they call the back end, and that's going to be the extended warranty, the gap, you know, window protection, that kind of thing. So you really want to start paying attention when you get to finance and insurance. Next up on your trade-in, you know, do some homework on your trade. You know, really do your homework and you know, take a look and see what the market is out there. Look at Kelley Blue Book. It's kbb.com. You know, it's free. You can enter your car in there and you can see what retail value is. You can see what trade-in value is, dealer trade-in value, that kind of thing. And get an idea. You know, use some of the research tools, the web research tools that you have, so you can kind of get an idea of what it's worth. You know, Auto Trader is a good place to kind of see where your value is. And then on trades, also know condition is everything. Get your vehicle detailed before you take it in. You know, if you bring it in, it's dirty and it's got stains and maybe it smells a little bit from the puppy you had in the back, or you got kids. You know, you want to make sure it's clean, because condition is everything. And if you trade in your vehicle, they're going to look at that. How much work do they have to put into it to get it frontline ready, to get it ready to sell? And then, again, choke prices. You know, look at local prices. You know, you look at, you know, if you have a Subaru and you look up in Oregon, they're going to go for a little bit more than in Southern California. So you kind of want to get an idea and take a look at, you know, what local prices are. So be prepared for that. Next up, going back a little bit to the dealer experience, stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. When you get to a dealership, you know, they're going to try to switch you out of the car. You know, you're going to go in, you're going to go in looking for a two-door Honda Civic in red, and if the bonus at that time is for a Honda Odyssey, which is their minivan, they're going to try to flip you into that minivan. So stick to your guns. If you want a red Civic, then you get that red Civic. Negotiating on price only. A lot of times what will happen is they try to negotiate with payment, and then what they'll do is when you're in finance and insurance and you're tired of not paying attention, a lot of times they'll add the extra stuff but extend your term on your loan. And I've seen it 100 times where someone will go in thinking they're getting a 60-month loan, and then they end up with a 72 or 84-month loan. So you're going to want to negotiate on price only, not payment. And your trade-in. Negotiate trade-in separately from the purchase of the vehicle. They're always going to ask you if you have a trade-in. Honestly, what I would do is I would tell them no. I would negotiate the price of the vehicle. Once you've got the price of the vehicle negotiated, then let them know, okay, you know what, I've got a trade-in. And they're going to be a little bit upset, but remember, they're not your friends. You're there to buy a car, and they're there to make money. So negotiate the trade-in separately from the purchase price of the vehicle, because they will. They'll give you a little more of a discount on the vehicle and then not give you as much on your trade. Or if you need more for your trade, they'll give you more for your trade, but then they're going to charge you more for the new vehicle you're purchasing. So you got to be really careful with that. All right.
Well, thanks, Tim. That was definitely some great information that you shared. So we talked a little bit about setting the budget, researching the car of your dreams. So you have a pretty good idea of your trade-in value because you have done all your research, as Tim talked about, going on to, Kelley Blue Book, looking at the internet and searching and that sort. because you have done all your research and you are ready to negotiate, you have to ask yourself, really, are you ready to negotiate? Before you go to the dealership, make sure you get a pre-approval from LAPFCU or another credit union. It's free, and it will basically allow you to know beforehand how much you can afford, as well as your rate. This can help with you and your budgeting, as you can even calculate your monthly payments. Keep in mind, though, that dealers may try to sell you their own financing or broker your loan to another lender. Consider who you want servicing or handling your loan, because that's who you'll be dealing with if you have a problem. So taking a look at your slide, what about 0% financing? 0% financing can be a great deal, and sometimes you should take it. However, keep in mind that it usually entails a shorter repayment term, which means you'll have a larger monthly payment. If you can afford to pay more, great. However, if you can't, you might want to look at your options. If you have a choice between taking a rebate or taking 0% financing, it might actually make more financial sense to take the rebate and pay a little bit of interest to your credit union. Leasing versus buying really comes down to what you as a consumer can afford. Generally, if you save a little bit more, you'll save a little bit more in the long run by buying the car, and when your loan is paid off, guess what? You own the car. It's yours. At which point you can either have no payments or you have something of value which you can sell. The thing you need to ask yourself is, are you willing to live with having an older car? Now, if the answer is no, and you're the type of person who wants to have a new car every couple of years, then typically it makes more sense for you to lease. A lease offers lower monthly payments and enables you to avoid taking the depreciation hit when you sell the car. But make sure to read the fine print carefully, because there may be stipulations in your contract, such as annual mileage restrictions. So take a look at the example that you have on your screen now. And in this example, it goes over how sometimes it makes more sense to take the rebate instead of 0% financing. So notice we're putting the same amount down, but with the rebate option, we're financing a lower principal amount over a longer period of time. The result is a much lower monthly payment. Of course, you will be making the payments for a lot longer, but it may fit better into your monthly budget. And if you notice, your total cost ends up being lower. So this definitely comes in handy if an issue arises that, for example, let's say you need to fix your car after your warranty is up. Sometimes you can prepay for what is called your vehicle maintenance repair coverage. So you may pay more up front, but, and that definitely can save you money in the long run. However, you can also finance it by rolling the cost into your auto loan. The mechanical repair coverage, also known as MRC, allows you to lock in a lower price on an additional warranty and may serve as a backup that covers by your manufacturer's warranty. Based on how long you'll own the vehicle, how reliable it is, and how expensive it is to repair, you'll need to decide whether you want to purchase an extended warranty. With an unreliable vehicle, it gets pretty expensive to repair. You may want that extended warranty in place when the manufacturer's warranty expires. So just make sure that you research the company you're purchasing a policy from. One of the reasons I say that is because you want to research how successful customers in the past have been at getting the company to honor its warranty. That's extremely important. I like to go online and just kind of look at different reviews on companies before I select them. Gap insurance helps you if your car is totaled in an accident or stolen and not recovered. It is the actual cash value, so it's not how much you actually paid for the car. You get from your auto insurance carrier. This amount may or may not cover what you still owe if the vehicle is a loan or a lease. And then, of course, you have your prepaid maintenance programs, which cover required maintenance. Make sure, again, you do your homework. Sometimes the plan may cost more than the actual maintenance cost. So see what the recommended scheduled maintenance is for your vehicle and compare the cost of those services with the cost of the prepaid plan. You'll have to decide if you want all the other extras because they do also come at a cost, which you can finance and roll into the cost of your loan. These extras usually provide the dealer with a substantial profit. So as Tim was talking about earlier, I think he said $3,500. Tim, am I correct?
Yes, that's correct. $3,500 average.
Yeah, so about $3,500 average. So know beforehand what's important to you because, again, they are going to try to make that sale. Now here at LAPFCU, we do have some of the lowest rates around, so especially if you participate in our member benefits program. So keep that in mind that your credit does affect your rate. So the better your credit, obviously it means the better your rate because a better credit represents less of a risk for a lender. To check to see if you have been pre-approved for financing with us, you simply would access your Patrol Online Banking, an LAPFCU mobile app, or simply give us a call. If you're not pre-approved, I don't want you to worry because if you're not pre-approved, we have something for you as well. We can finance up to 125%, which means we can finance the cost of not only the vehicle, we can also finance the cost of all those extras that we just discussed. And we can take your payments out to as long as 84 months. So that definitely helps if you're looking to have a lower monthly payment. Okay, so how does all of this work? The credit union difference, basically you simply would access our website at lapfcu.org and you're going to select vehicle loans from the loans and credit tab. You would then click on apply online. That form takes you a couple of minutes for you to complete. We can also take your application in person in any of our 4 branches or over the phone if you call 877-695-2732. Once again, that's 1-877-695-2732. Don't worry if you missed that or if you don't have a pen handy, as I will display the number on the screen at the end of tonight's presentation. And also, as I stated earlier, this webinar is being recorded, so you will also get a copy to this link and you can listen to it at your leisure, press pause at different screens, and go through the information at a different pace if that's what you want to do to take additional notes. If you happen to find yourself at a dealership, however, before you get your loan pre-approved by us, let the dealer know that you're an LAPFCU member. Many dealerships participate in the Credit Union Direct Lending Network, and they're able to finance you with LAPFCU at the dealership. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Now, if you use our online banking or mobile app and you're pre-approved for financing, you can see and accept your loan offer with just a few simple clicks. You would simply click on View Loan Offers from the Loan Offer tab that you see on your screen. And then if you like the offer that you see, accept the offer. It's really that easy. Just a reminder, also here at LAPFCU, it's a one-stop shop. We want to make sure that you don't need to go to all these different places to basically get into the vehicle of your dreams. But not only that, we also have an in-house insurance that's through Lapcuso Insurance Services that can provide you with auto insurance as well as multi-policy discounts. We also leverage the size of our entire membership to negotiate discounted group rates. And yes, they do life insurance as well. So again, talking about the GAP, Guaranteed Asset Protection, your primary auto insurance company will only pay the actual cash value of your vehicle. So if you have a loan or are leasing, ask yourself these two questions. Are you prepared to write a big check to your lender if your finance vehicle is declared a total loss? Okay. Your second question, do you think your primary auto insurance will automatically pay your finance contract balance in full if you total your vehicle? Okay. So I want you to really think again about that, because actually your primary auto insurance company will only pay the actual cash value. So again, that's today's market value. So we were talking about this earlier. I said it's what the value of your car is. It's not the value of when you purchased the car, because the car depreciates as soon as you drive off the lot. Once your deductible is moved, this amount could be significantly less than the amount you owe your lender. So it's important for you to consider if that's something that you would want to add on to your car as well. Now, if you're thinking about purchasing a car, there are a lot of alternative options. You don't necessarily have to go through a dealership. Although going to a dealership seems to be the most frequent way most people purchase, remember there are private party sales as well as public auctions. You just need to search and find out what's the best deal for you. For a hassle-free experience, however, why not let someone else do all the searching for you? Autoland is a buying service that uses concierge-style buying that can provide a savings to you. And who doesn't like to save time, right? The Autoland experience includes the following: a personal consultant, expert consultation and advice, vehicles that fit your budget, options and packages. They have new, used, and trade services. And because they work for you, they can even deliver to the credit union. So you can sit at home and just click away and let someone else do all the research for you. So that's pretty good with their concierge service. So to get started, how would you actually access the Autoland site? Tim talked about this earlier, so let me go ahead and show you how you can find that on our webpage. You would simply hover over the Services and Resources heading. So you would first access www.lapfcu.org. Once you're on our webpage, hover over the Services and Resource heading that you see on your screen. Once you hover over Services and Resources, a list of options are displayed. You're going to click on Autoland. It is the 11th option down once the list expands. A link to access the Autoland website is located within the summary description. In addition, when you access this page, you can also check the most recent auto rates. As a reminder, Autoland is a partner of Los Angeles Police Federal Credit Union, and in order to access their site from our page, you must agree to leave our website. Simply click Continue once the disclaimer appears on your screen, and you are one step closer to accessing the tools that you would need to assist you towards the vehicle of your dreams. And now we'll go ahead and take a look at the Autoland site. And really, it is that easy. So you have a wealth of tools that are on there. And again, I'll open up the floor a little bit later if you have any questions regarding Autoland and the no haggle, no hassle process. But I do want you to keep in mind, again, before you shop, you want to make sure that you set your budget, you get pre-approved, you get insurance quotes, and you consider all of your options. Now, in just a moment, I'll talk to you a little bit about how LAPFCU can help with your financing as well. So if you're in the market for a new or used car, we definitely want to make sure that we are able to assist you. We also have a member-only car sale event occurring in just 4 weeks. That car sale will take place at the Airtel Plaza Hotel, located across the street from our Van Nuys branch location. This car sale will take place on Saturday, June 10th, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sunday, June 11th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Additional information can also be found on our webpage at www.lapfcu.org. And don't worry, for those of you that are not in the area, or maybe you're busy that weekend, or maybe you're like me and you went to work Monday through Friday and you just want to sit back and let a personal consultant do the vehicle search for you. Remember, you can contact the service professionals at Autoland at www.autoland.com, or you can simply call 1-800-234-6999. Again, that car sale is just 4 weeks away on Saturday, June 10th and Sunday, June 11th. In addition to the car sale event, because I do want to make sure that I give you all ample opportunity to know about some of the events that are coming up for us as well. If you are interested in our Divorce and Finances webinar, that's also coming up on Tuesday, May 23rd from 7 to 8 p.m. And just like this webinar, you can do this from the comfort of your own home. At this time, I will go ahead and open it up for questions. If you would like to ask a question, simply raise your hand, click on that hand icon to let me know that you're about to type a question into the GoToWebinar toolbar. So you simply will open up the question toolbar and type in your question. I'll read your question off for Tim and I are both on the line to be able to answer your questions. And we will definitely try to get to as many questions as we can. We make sure that we time the webinar so we give you ample time to ask questions or concerns that you have regarding this webinar. So at this time, if you can go ahead, and first of all, just to make sure that everybody can hear me, or if you have a question, go ahead and everyone, if you can raise your hand. Perfect, thank you. And if you have a question, we'll go ahead and get ready to answer those in just a moment. Okay, so Tim, can you go ahead and explain a little bit more about the Autoland concierge experience?
Absolutely. It's a great service. It's all part of your member benefits as well. You know, we are an auto broker, but we are part of your member benefits, so there's no extra fees or anything like that. What's going to happen is you let your loan officer know you're in the market for a vehicle. Your loan officer is going to give one of our consultants your information. You're going to get a phone call from our consultant. They're going to talk to you a little bit and find out what you're looking for. You know, new or pre-owned, colors, option, trim, you know, that kind of thing. We're going to find out what your budget is. Then we're going to go and we're going to locate the vehicle for you. We've got dealers all throughout California. So we've got, I believe, 102 dealers at this point, but all throughout California. So we're going to find out who's got great deals on the vehicle, who's got the vehicle. You know, a lot of vehicles, for example, if you're looking for a Toyota Tacoma or a Highlander right now, they're pretty hard to get. But since we've got so many dealers, we'll find out if it's in Northern California, Southern California, Central Coast, you know, wherever it is, we'll find it. We've got a great network of dealer partners that we can get the vehicles from. So it makes it really easy for us to get vehicles, new or pre-owned. So we'll come back to you, let you know what vehicle we found, where we found it, pricing. We can talk pricing then, talk about your trade-in. We can get the value for your trade-in at that point as well. Quick, easy process. And if you like it, then we get all the paperwork and everything done ahead of time for you. We'll have the vehicle delivered to the branch that's closest to you. We'll show up, we'll meet, we'll check out the vehicle, kick the tires, take it on a little spin, make sure everything's working perfectly. If it's a pre-owned car, we'll make sure it doesn't have any funky smells or noises or anything like that. And then we'll go in, we'll sign all the paperwork that's ready to go. You'll see your loan officer, sign your loan docs, and you're on the road enjoying your new car. And it really is that easy.
Thank you, Tim. Your next question is, are Costco, Sam's Club, etc., buying services good sources for great price? Will Autoland beat these prices?
That's a great question. They are good services. You look at, look at the ratings online. Always, take a look at that before you go through that. However, those services are not a concierge service. They're only a pricing service. So they're going to give you a price, and you still have to go to the dealership. So you're still going to have to go through the whole dealer process. They're still going to try to flip you into another vehicle or try to sell you the extra products at an inflated rate because they need to make up the money that they're losing on the front end of the deal. So although it is a good way to go if you like that kind of thing, you still have to go to the dealership. With Autoland, you do not have to go to the dealership. We will take care of all of that for you and have the vehicle delivered.
Thank you. Next question is, how long are pre-approval car loans good for? And the answer to your question is they are good for 2 months. Your next question is the different types of web research tools. Which web research tools do you recommend?
Well, I'll be honest, I'm biased to Autoland.com. It's a great way to research. You can research new and pre-owned, both there. But a good way to research cars is also through the dealer websites. You can take a look, see what they have inventory-wise. If they don't have your vehicle, at least you'll know it. Auto Trader is a good one. Edmunds, they're all fairly good. It's just you have to do the work. Or if you go to Autoland, we do the work for you.
Great, thank you, Tim. As far as negotiating price, any tips on how to negotiate the price of a car?
Well, the best tip I can give you is do your research before you go to negotiate with the dealership. Know what the average prices are that people are selling them for. Know what the MSRP is so you don't pay over that, or you at least don't pay that. A lot of times that'll happen where somebody will go to a dealership, they haven't done any research, the dealer throws out, well, you asked how much is this car, and they're going to throw out the MSRP price, the sticker price, because to them that's what the vehicle is worth. So, do some research, find out what people are buying that vehicle for in your area. Arm yourself before you go to the dealership. That's going to help you negotiate. And stick to negotiating on the price of the vehicle, not the payment.
Thank you, Tim. Your next question is, does Autoland only deliver to the credit union, or can they deliver to my house?
We do deliver to credit unions. We can deliver to your office or the station if that helps you out. Delivering to the home, we do that in certain circumstances. We can do that. That's no problem. The credit union does have DocuSign, so we can do it that way, have the vehicle delivered. We'll overnight the paperwork to you. You can fill out the paperwork and overnight it back to us, which we'll pay for all that for you. So we can do that if needed.
Thank you, Tim. Your next question is, can you explain how TrueCar works? Will this produce best price for buyer?
Well, TrueCar, one thing you're going to do is take a look at their ratings before you use TrueCar. That'll tell you a lot in itself. With TrueCar, they're going to give you a price. They're going to give you a little certificate that you'll print out and you'll take to the dealership. Some dealerships will work well with that, and you'll get it for that price. But most of the time, the dealerships are going to either tell you that car is no longer available and flip you into another car, or a lot of times what I've seen as well is where they will give it to you at that price. However, they've got an addendum, and an addendum is what's added to the vehicle. So that vehicle already has low jack. That vehicle already has the window etching. that vehicle already has a warranty to the identification number. So to get that price, you still have to buy all that extra stuff, and that's where they'll make up their money. So you got to be very careful when using a pricing service like that you're not getting taken advantage of on the back end of the deal.
Okay, thank you, Tim. And your next question is, can you explain how public auctions work?
We actually don't get involved in public auctions at all, so I don't have a lot of information on that. Most auctions, you have to have a wholesale license to buy from. There are some auctions in Southern California where you don't have to have a license, but you're buying a vehicle as is that you haven't test driven, you haven't had checked out, that you don't know what's going on with the vehicle. A lot of them, they don't even unlock the vehicle. They sit there locked and you don't know if it runs or not. You're just taking a gamble. It's a very, very risky business buying from the auction. So make sure you're very careful if you do something like that.
Does LAPFCU, so this question really for me, offer extended warranty policies for new cars? I can definitely look into that and provide an answer to everyone that is attending once I get in with the lending department on that one. I generally haven't seen extended warranties on new cars. Usually those are on used cars, but I definitely will look into that for you and get that answer out to you as well. Now, let's see, does anyone else have a question? I'm just going to have you raise your hand if you're in the middle of typing out a question so that I don't skip you. And it looks like I have one person typing out a question, so we'll give them a moment to do that. Again, any questions that you have are definitely welcome. We do want to make sure that we answer all of your questions and concerns at this webinar. Okay, next question is, how can I find how certain models have been selling? A trade journal, perhaps?
I haven't heard of anything like that, unfortunately. I really don't know where you could go for that. At Autoland, we will talk to our dealer partners and we get information that way. But to be honest, if you just call up a dealership, they're going to tell you whatever they want to sell that week.
Yeah, I was going to say I know that, sometimes you can look for the previous year. Sometimes reports are generated on how well a car is selling, but those are usually year-end reports for that. So that's one that kind of stuck me as well. What kind of options and packages are most commonly offered with a car?
What kind of packages are most commonly offered?
Yes, what kind of options and packages are most commonly offered when you purchase a car?
That really depends on the vehicle. Right now, everybody's real big on Bluetooth, backup cameras, seat heaters, that kind of thing. So more of the luxury items. Those are probably right now being the most requested things that we have.
Yeah, I can see that as well. It's just, and let's see, your next question, I think you answered this already. Tim, I can answer this for you as well. It says, do you accept trade-ins? And you do accept trade-ins as Autoland as well. Do you want to speak a little bit more on that?
Absolutely. We have a great trade-in program. You go to your local dealership and you have a trade-in, you get their used car manager is going to come out and take a look at your car. So you get one guy taking a look at your car and he's going to give you the bid on that vehicle. Well, with Autoland, we have wholesalers all throughout California. So I believe we have 9 at this point, all throughout California. So we've got 9 people that are going to bid on your vehicle. And a really cool way we do it is we have a form we fill out, and we have pictures we take. We send that out to our wholesalers, and they do a blind bidding on your vehicle. So they don't know what other people are bidding on that vehicle. So if they want it, they actually have to bid a little bit more to make sure they're going to get it. So a lot of times we give people more value for their vehicle that way. It's a really great, easy way. We usually have all the bids back within 24 hours. Sometimes it takes a little longer if it's a weekend, but usually within 24 hours we'll have all the bids back. We let you know what the highest bid is, and if you like it, then we will arrange for them to come pick up the vehicle from you so you don't have to deal with it at all. Or if you're coming to the credit union, you drive your old vehicle and drive away with your new one. We also will what we call a buy only. If you just have an extra vehicle you want to sell, we will do the same process and just buy it from you. And then somebody will come pick it up so you don't have to be bothered with it.
Okay, thank you so much, Tim. Are there any other questions that are out there? And again, if you're in the process of typing a question in, simply raise your hand so I don't assume that there are no more questions that are out there that I have not either posed on the phone or answered individually. Okay. Again, this is your time, so I just want to make sure, and it looks like we have one person typing in a question, so I'll give them a little bit so that they can get that information in as well. Tim, your next question is, what's the average mileage on the vehicles? And I'm assuming this is for Autoland.
That really is all over the board. We have vehicles that are, from a year old all the way to, 10 years old on our website. So it really ranges. All of our pre-owned vehicles come with a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty, powertrain warranty that we give you for free. We also give you a 3-day, 300-mile buyback guarantee on all of our pre-owned vehicles that are on our website. So most of our cars are going to be under 100,000 miles. Some of the newer ones are all going to be certified. So if, say you get a vehicle that's a year or two old, we are in Southern California. People drive a lot. So you're probably going to be sitting around 30,000 miles or so.
Okay. How can I tell what changes to a model might come in the next model year? I don't know if we can actually tell, but go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, dealers like to hide that because they want to get rid of the old inventory. So say 2017, they have a lot of that inventory. They want to get rid of it, so they don't advertise a lot of what's happening in 2018. But, there's websites. Car and Driver is a great website for that kind of thing. Motor Trend is another great website that you can do some research on upcoming models, what the rumors are, that kind of thing. Those are 2 great websites to go to. I visit them all the time just because they're fun and I love cars. But you can go there and see somewhat of what's coming out.
Thank you, Tim. Next question is actually for me. Can you set up payments to be taken out monthly or biweekly? And the answer is yes. And it looks like we have another question coming in. Let me just give them some time to type that out. Okay, so Tim, how accurate would you say Kelley Blue Book is versus market value?
Kelley Blue Book is a good tool to get a ballpark figure. It's not exact, and it really depends on the market. Where we see a big difference is when gas prices go up, then the prices of trucks, big SUVs. Kelley Blue Book doesn't adjust quick enough. So what will happen is you'll see a high value for, say you have a Suburban, you'll see a big value for it, but people aren't paying that right now because gas prices went up. So it really depends on what the market is doing. But Kelley Blue Book is just like I said, a ballpark. It's a great way to just kind of figure out where you're at.
Okay, your next question, can I lease a vehicle with Autoland?
We will help you with a lease. All leases are through the manufacturer, so it does go through the manufacturer, not Autoland. But we will guide you, and we'll make sure if it's a good fit or not. But yeah, we can certainly help you with that.
It looks like this is two-part. When the lease is up, can I purchase it?
Yes, you can.
It's like any lease, yeah. Okay, any other questions coming through? Let's see, here we go. The added features are paid monthly or, okay, so someone has a question. The added features are paid monthly or once, and they're referring to LoJack. So would they pay for that feature one time, or is it a monthly cost?
LoJack is a one-time fee.
Your next question, how can I fully negotiate a car price without visiting a dealer when I am ready to buy?
You can't. All dealers will make you go to the dealership before. They might talk numbers on the phone, but they're going to tell you whatever number you want to hear to get you into the dealership, to get you through the dealer process.
And Tim, I believe the person is referring to, we were talking about the concierge service with Autoland and having someone do everything for you.
Yeah, with Autoland, you don't have to go to the dealership. We'll take care of all that for you. Once we find the vehicle that you're looking for, we'll negotiate the price with the dealership and then bring that price back to you. And typically, we'll call 2 or 3, maybe even 4 dealerships before getting back to you just to make sure we did get a good price.
Okay. Your next question is, if I buy through Autoland, does our credit union take out a 0.075% of a percentage off our annual rate, or is that percentage already included in our pre-approval rate? Let me read that question again so I can make sure I'm understanding it. If I buy through Autoland, does our credit union take out a 0.075% of a percentage off our approval rate, or is that percentage already included in our pre-approval rate? Okay, so for that, it's not actually included with our pre-approval. You would need to qualify for member benefits in order for you to get that discount. And the next question, they're typing it in, one moment. Okay, and looks like I have another question. Does our credit union offer gap insurance? Yes, we do. We offer insurance, and you can call the number that's on your screen, or following this webinar, within the next one to 2 days, I will be sending out a survey. If you have questions that for whatever reason were not answered during this survey, or excuse me, during this webinar that you just thought of, either when the webinar ends, or again, like this person would like to know more about the insurance, you can leave your information. I'll get that over to our LAPCUSA representative to assist you with that. Okay. I think we have time for maybe one more question. And let's see, I'll do 2. How much does Autoland make percentage-wise, let's say on a $30,000 purchase? This cost the
Vehicle has, the more it's going to be worth on resale. And this kind of stuff is fun. They've gotten really good with this technology, with the blind spot monitoring, the lane keeping assist. It's all gotten really good in the last couple of years, and there's lots of stuff like that. But yeah, any extra stuff you can get on your vehicle is definitely going to help maintain the value of the vehicle.
Thank you so much. Okay, so as a reminder, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the presentation. If you were unable to get your questions or if you wish to talk to someone regarding a pre-approval, purchasing a vehicle, or obtaining insurance, I will be sending out a survey along with the link to the recording of this webinar within the next 2 business days. We would definitely love to hear what you thought of tonight's presentation, and we also want to know what types of webinars and workshops you hope to see in the future. Okay, and I would like to say a big thank you to Tim Ketchapaw from Autoland, as well as all of you that actually took the time to tune in this evening. My name is Myra Kasuk with LAPFCU. Until next time, have a good night.